Welcome back, folks. This is Southpaw Gemini here. Thanks for coming back to the couch with us. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab a seat, because we're hopping back into Fates of Ort. It's a beautiful labor of love indie RPG. It's got a retro, old school vibe with classic, complicated magic system, deep lore, and some hilariously bad voice acting by yours truly. So, last time we played, when we left off, we had recently reached level 3, which was great. We got to see sort of the expansion of the magic system and how, depending on which of the three sisters we had sort of taken on as our guide, companion, deity sort of thing, that depended on what flavor of a spell that we got. And since we took the shadow, which was having to do mostly with death and sort of the order of things, it seems that most of our magic is going to be flavored towards necromancy, which should be very interesting, actually. We also watched one of the I think it was 3 moons, maybe many moons. One of the moons of Ort exploded while we were stargazing with a commoner. That was interesting. We also got chased by some incredibly deadly undead skeletons, and we found quite a bit of fun loot while we were exploring as well. We also found out that each time you exit and re-enter into a map, all of the baddies respawn, but so does the loot, right? That's pretty great. But something else that's pretty cool is we got these guys. So we got this cool spell up top here called Servitude, which was, I believe, one of the spells we got for our 3rd level. And the shadow take on the spell allowed us to basically infect any living creatures so that when they died, they would become our undead servants. And they're pretty cool, actually, because they essentially just, if I just press, go, they're gonna kind of just go around the map, do their own thing to a large extent, and kill baddies on our behalf. They'll probably die before they will definitely die, apparently, before we are able to have them kill any of the baddies on our behalf. But great nonetheless to have a few meat shields. One of the things as well that's pretty unique about this game that I don't know how deeply we went into it last time, but see this little 5 HP up here for Servitude? We're real low on HP right now, and we're going to head back to that shard so that way we can re-up our HP, because we should be around 1,000. But essentially, instead of having mana in this game, you basically just use your life points to cast spells. It's essentially blood magic. It's ritual magic. Very interesting. And something, this was a new thing that we got. Not something I've seen as the primary way of doing magic in a lot of other games, so it's kind of exciting. I'm also curious to see, we've taken 2 levels, we've leveled up twice so far, and I haven't seen our life pool go up at all. And I'm wondering if that will go up at all, ever, or if we're going to have to wait until we get some various items that will boost our level, or if our items are going to only reduce our spellcasting costs. We'll see. So we got a standard Amulet of Shimmering, which increases the spellcasting rate by 7%. Fantastic. So we can cast a little more quickly. Be great. One of the things that will be interesting as we go through this is talking to some of the folks that we talked to last time. Seeing if I can remember how to do their voices. We'll find out. Also, we had a little bit of technical difficulties last time, but this time... Oops, sorry about that. Just double checking there. We are good to go with the sound of this game, fortunately. And if this is the first time for you seeing this game or joining us here on the couch as we play the game, these little sort of rifts here in the world go to a sort of demonic underworld that essentially is the corruption. And I guess basically what's happening so far, what we've been able to surmise is there was a duke who had essentially created or at least sided with a corruption in the world that had previously been locked away by the three sisters. And those little rifts are essentially a sign of the world tearing itself apart. Nice. Okay. So that guy up there, that guy is the one that we saw the moon fall apart with. Because essentially this corruption was happening up there on the moon and couldn't take it anymore. So we're going to continue exploring for just a little bit longer here, just trying to get back into the swing of things, and then we're going to, oh wow, and then we're going to hit it up with a continuation of our quest. I'm just pressing spacebar here to kind of let things unfold. But we already got a dead dude right here, which is not ideal. Okay. So at the very least, the bats are not super dangerous so far. Okay. Oh. Okay. Kind of, you know, swinging my sword around to see if there's anything worthwhile. Ooh, sweet looking ring. Picked up Transcendent Ancient Ring. Wow, that sounds super cool. And we'll have to go back at some point to put it on. What we got? One of the things that is super unnerving as we make our way through this game, and I'm actually curious to find out if there is sort of a pacifist run you can make in this game at all. Each of those monsters that we just killed, definitely a human that was previously alive in this bar, just having a good time. Okay. Oh, right. Oh, sweet, we got some boots. Thanks for... Well, I guess I'm the one who walked into it, right? Okay, we got some loot and some experience, and didn't take too much damage for it, luckily. Okay, that way is the chantry, I think it was, essentially where our sister's dead body is currently. Alright, we should check out our journal, see what we got. Saving Arg. Arg is struggling against consumption. That's right, we don't have anything for him, right? There are a few ways to cleanse someone of consumption. So Arg was the guy who was the weapons trainer, essentially, the master swordsman at the academy that we were just going to. He accepted the corruption. Unfortunately, he's now struggling to not become consumed by the corruption. So we've got a quest to save him. There are a few ways to cleanse someone of consumption. Using a soul meld potion is one. Don't like the sounds of that. To acquire this, seek the potion maker in the Mudboil Bogs. Sounds like a dangerous place. On the top of the Corpa Range. Alternatively, you could venture into Arg's Soul. Ooh, that sounds equally dangerous, but interesting. To do this, seek the Soul Collector in Dormancourt, the capital city. Or finally, perhaps the mad scientists of the Soul Rootlands in the east have a machine that might help. I met a stargazer near the Chroniclary and witnessed one of Ort's moons shattering. The fragments of the moon struck all around the world. The man asked me to bring him back moon fragments in return for a reward. I imagine that's just going to be the quest, essentially, is going to be something where we're going to have to just sort of throughout the game, we'll kind of collect these, and that'll be our reason for sort of coming back to another reason. Beyond the main quest for coming back to the Chroniclary to talk to the old man and talk to the librarian and update our map and things like that. Use a map to identify the locations where the moon fragments have landed, then take them back to the Stargazer in the grasslands just southwest of the Chroniclary. Fate Spike. Deckard, who's the old man who's sort of like Doc from Back to the Future for us. At least that's who he is in my head. He might be more of a Gandalf character in your head. That's okay. Deckard theorized that there must be a large fate spike that has been shattered. It will likely be underground in Dormancourt, the capital city. I should seek out any fragments of the spike to see if I can piece it back together and make it more powerful. Not a whole lot. Let's see what the hint is for that one. The more fragments you find, the more health the large fate spike will grant you in advance of your confrontation with Duke Camersalt and the Scorned. Okay, so that's how we gain more resource, right? That's how we gain more HP and more ability to use higher levels of magic. Okay, cool. King Solomon Mortifax, who's the king currently in this major empire. I should seek an audience with King Solomon Mortifax in Castle Mortifax. Perhaps he knows more about Duke Camersalt. Perhaps he could even be of help. He also, at least in his castle, has the bones of an ancient royal that we may be able to use to bring our sister back to life. Be interesting. Castle Mortifax lies in the western parts of the grasslands. Once you find King Solomon, speak to him. Be careful about your decision when he demands you to kneel and display your loyalty. If you do, you will receive his gratitude and rewards, but if you stand defiant, the reward may be even greater. Interesting. Okay. I'd like to explore a little bit more before we head to the castle, because I don't really know what that trade-off would really be like. I want to know a little bit more about the land here and what the politics are like and who we're going to be pissing off and who we're going to be gaining as allies with that decision. Queen Lagamuta of the royal family, Craventhaw, lives in Castle Craventhaw in the northwestern parts of the Tarmacan Taiga. Perhaps I should seek an audience with her to find out what she knows about the situation and if she can do anything to help. When you speak to the queen, be very careful about your decision to kneel or display your loyalty. Okay, so it sounds like the decision will most likely, so far at least, be between pledging our loyalty to the Queen of the North or the King here of the Grassland. Or this is like the main storyline here. And essentially the capital city of this area, which surprisingly the king seems to not live in. That's where it's all located in terms of the Duke is there and the Scorned are there. And it feels to me, and I'm probably never going to try this, but I'll certainly ask around. It seems to me that it's similar to Breath of the Wild in that way that I think we can just go straight to the boss right now. I have no doubt I would die, but I'd be curious to see if that is true, and if it is true, I'd love to see somebody attempt and succeed at beating the game in that way. That's right, there was a dude at the mausoleum where our sister's body was, and he apparently is not of this plane, and if we get him bones of a royal, he'll bring our sister back, essentially. Oh yeah, we met a gnome named Brax, and he was shot down, and we have his broken prismatic aether coil, and if we can fix it for him, then he'll get his skyship up and running again for us, which is fantastic, and allow us to go to a bunch of places that we wouldn't be able to go to otherwise. I'm sure we can certainly beat the game probably without having him on our side, but we'll most certainly also be missing out on what I imagine are some really cool aspects of the game. Plus, who doesn't want an airship? Or just a gnome companion? The chroniclery, we talked to the librarian. She asked us to bring back any books that we may find, and she'll give us some extra maps and sea charts and musical notes, which is very interesting to me. I don't know what that's going to lead to, how that plays into the story at large. We're just kind of exploring at this point. I wonder what the hint is for that. Oh, interesting. So once we hand the books over to the librarian, we won't be able to use them anymore. So I'm imagining we're going to come up against a decision-making process where we've got books that may lead us down a certain quest line, and we might get some sort of a artifact or some sort of loot that way, or we bring them back to the librarian. Be interesting. Saving our sister. Yeah, we talked about that. Let's... Okay, so we have 3 options to saving Master Slovo, who seems like a great guy. We knew him for all of maybe an hour, but we feel like it's our duty to go save his life. And to be fair, he's probably the most Gandalf-like character in the game, and will undoubtedly be a staunch ally in our fight against the corruption. So it's probably a good idea to get him. Our 3 options for getting him freed, one way or the other, are either to discredit the witness, bribe the judge, or break him out of jail. To reveal the witness as a liar, you could use a truth potion, which we don't have just yet, but we could get one from the Mudboil Bogs, which might be a place worth going to be perfectly honest, because that's 2 stones, or 2 birds with 1 stone, because we also have to go there for the other quest. A magical eye might show everyone the truth. Interesting. If we can get that from the witch at the westernmost point of the Shimmergem coast, which is where one of the students was from that we talked to last time. To acquire the wealth to bribe the judge, you might speak to the sick merchant of Trewad, or seek the dragon that was last seen flying south over the sea towards an unknown location. I imagine we'll need to get across the sea. We'll need the airship to be back fully functional. Finally, to break out Master Slovo, you would need to recruit the aid of a criminal. Explore prisons and dungeons to seek these. Interesting. So we go to the Mudboil Bogs, on top of the Corpa Range, and that would get us, what was the other one? Yeah, saving Arg to get a potion to do a soul meld. Let's keep exploring. Taking a look at our map, right? We're right here. Yeah, we're 2 squares away. We're 2 maps away from the academy, so we're right here. It looks like there's another. Okay, so this is going to be the court where Master Slovo is held, and it's also going to be a place where I would imagine we're going to get another one of those spikes, which would be great because then we would have not only max health, but we could also put on that ring that we just found. So let's head in that direction. Take it. The interesting thing about these little corruption spots is they actually do, excuse me, seem to show up at random, honestly. To a certain extent. Okay. Ah, we are at the court. Fantastic. Sweet ring. Okay. Let's see what we got. +9 projectile area of effect. We don't have one yet, but we will eventually. Monsters drop 2% more coins. That's fantastic. 10% mine resistance. Seems like it would be useful at some point. I don't know who would use it against yet, but want to keep it around. +5 status effect length, which would be nice if we ever go for, there was a poison spell that we could go for. Corpses have a +6 chance to explode. Okay. I want to keep it, but I don't think we're going to put it on just yet because we don't have a lot of use for most of the things that are on it, except for maybe the 2% more coins. Whereas the one that we have on currently gives us a pretty significant reduction in monster vision, which is ideal, at least at the health level that we're at right now. Being able to sneak up to them to a certain extent where we can usually get in a hit before they hit us is proven very useful. Simple leather boots of the Forgotten Hero, +10% chance to retaliate with status effect. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's just a random status effect or if it's something that we have to already know. Also, destroying mailboxes gets you experience points in this game. I'm a huge fan of that. The woman paces around the house nervously. I just have this feeling that all of what's been going on is rooted in our old stories. I've always placed my faith in facts, the rule of law, order. But maybe, well, this all just seems so supernatural. The legends speak of the sisters and their mother, and how they used to live in the old forest to the east. Perhaps we need to forget our modern solutions and turn there for salvation? Interesting. Sounds like you're in quite the predicament. I'm just going to be over here smashing boxes, if you don't mind. Oh. Refined Cowl of Ashes. Interesting. So far, no one seems to mind that we just go around destroying stuff. Whoa, that's sweet. Also, each of these come with a different color, a cloud, every time we pick up an item, and I'm sure that has to do with rarity, but I don't know what the color system is just yet. Picked up a superb cloak, battle cloak of insanity. Whoa. Okay. Oh, okay. It's not destroyable. And finally the pot. Thank you for all of the items that you had in your house. Let's see what we just got. So we picked up Refined Cowl of Ashes. Projectiles travel 18% further. And status effect length plus 6%. Not gonna go that route just yet because the ones that we have on the buffs that we have currently are significantly better. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. So this one still reduces monster vision, but by half of what we have currently, but it does give us an extra defense, which is going to be super useful if we're low level, and the Mind Bolt spell costs increased by 3%. So while we'll have a higher defense, which means less damage taken, we're going to cause ourselves more damage each time we use a spell. We're going to hold off on that just for right now, until we kind of upgrade our HP pool, I think. Hey, old man. Seen a steady stream of petitioners heading for the court lately. World's falling apart, and everyone's busying themselves pointing the finger, shifting the blame. Oh, there's plenty of blame to be had, but someone has to actually do something. He pauses for a second as you look at him. And that someone ain't me, just in case that's what you're getting at. Well, that's okay, as long as you don't mind me breaking all your barrels, stealing all your loot. Hey, got another ring. Refined Vas Ringlet. Experience abound. See, this is what I'm saying. I like, not only does it feel like we can go straight to the boss as is, having not slain any creatures right off the bat once you exit the academy, but I also feel like if you really wanted to level up, you can just go into the houses and you can just grind barrels, which feels weird to say, but be curious to see if anyone ever goes that route. Oh man, did we be here yet? I feel like this is probably a bad idea. Ooh. I incumbit probatio qui. With such weighty accusations, surely the responsibility falls squarely on the defense to prove the innocence of their charge. Plainly, this is a matter of doli and capax. The old man is clearly incapable of committing acts of high treason such as this. Interesting. Oh, there he is. Dude. Master Slovo peers at you through the bars of the holding cell, helpless, fear evident in his eyes. The aging master, used to being held in the highest regard, looks out of place in this cage of scrutiny and accusation. What's going on? I am on trial, accused of high treason against Ort and the Mortifax royal family. They're saying, his pale forehead covered in tiny beads of sweat, that I plotted to overthrow the royal family and destabilize the kingdom, unleashing these demons. Oh, are we gonna ask him? Did you? I mean, to be fair, we've known him for like an hour at this point. And he seems super powerful, including having had a tier of one of the sisters that allowed us to gain our magic abilities. So, I mean, he's already dabbling in magic, right? Which is something that most people think doesn't exist in this world anymore. Let's ask him. Did you? He gasps in shock. What? Are you blind? Duke Mortifax is behind all of this. He orchestrated this farce of a trial to place the blame all on me. Why didn't he just have me killed instead? Why does he even need a scapegoat? You might find it funny. Yes, of course. Master Slovo ponders as he strokes his beard. The predator takes delight in toying with his prey. I can see him finding an exquisite irony in having one of the few individuals capable of stopping him tried and sentenced for the very crimes he is committing. What will happen? At best, I will be put away in the Mortifax dungeons for the remainder of my existence. Well, perhaps that is not the best outcome, as I will surely be driven insane having to watch the world fall apart at Camersalt's hands while locked up in a damned cage, he says, pounding a fist on the bars. The judge and lawyers scowl at him. The other alternative is that I will be executed. I think I might prefer that. That's fair. How do I get you out? Master Slovo grumbles. The witness is clearly lying. He's a brand new student at the academy. Even if I did the things he claims, he would not have had the opportunity to find out. Plainly, Duke Camersalt has him well and truly intimidated. If you could somehow convince him to speak the truth, the prosecution's case would crumble in an instant. The only thing stronger than fear is greed. I can see the judge is no fool, yet he allows these proceedings to continue. I can only surmise he is concerned about his vocation and whatever measly remuneration might flow from it. If you found a way to guarantee his financial security, perhaps he would feel more at ease in following his moral compass. What are you accused of? Okay.